Oh, Bread. Piss.
I agree. Peace is the best above all else.
Of a 44-pound fish. Fairy has chip spice. Okay, fairy has chip spice. I just like hearing the word moo, really. Yeah, but just like moo. Glop chomper. Glop chomper's gets 5. We're here. We did it. 15 people have arrived and chalk me down as the 16th. I hope you're all doing very well.
Bread.
I am tired. Today, I went to the gym for the first time in my life, and I didn't budget my time very well, and now I'm very tired. But then I've committed to do this. Hello. So just keep that into. I sort of like doing this afternoon stream because it compresses my morning and sort of forces me to get a lot of stuff done because I've got to come and do this. But I got really wrapped up into supercutting that Hansard video into one thing, and that took me way too long. Oh, Morn, sad. How's the shoulder infection? Yeah, the doctor said I've got to lop it up. I've got to pop it up. I've got to pop it up, my shoulder. Got to cut all the objectionable material. I bleeped out the words dick and wet. Other than that, I just tried to politely cut around things. Main cause of shoulder infection is wearing the same shirt over and over. Well, I'm not wearing it for long. I don't want you thinking I'm wearing it all day. It does need changing now, I think. I think once I've worn it for like, what, 3 or 4 sets of 2 hours, that's equivalent to wearing it for a day. I got an appointment for my wrist referral after only 3 weeks instead of 17. Congratulations to Burnsoid. The NHS is back, baby. Anyway, it's time to just chill out, luxuriate in each other's company, and take a look at Eclipsium, a game which promises puzzles and weird atmospheres, which I thought would be a nice way to while away a calming, blissful Thursday afternoon. You can hear, okay, you can hear that sort of repetitive rumbling, I hope and presume. What do we have here? Okay, let's change these to my weirdo left-handed numpad configuration. Interact, crouch, and jump. That'll do. Can you imagine that? Pressing keypad 8 to go forwards. Well, buddy, I don't need to imagine it. That's my lived experience. That's my auto-ethnography. You're left-handed? Yeah. Don't I talk about it all the time? Hello, Mazflaz. I'm extremely left-handed. Can't you tell from my demeanor, personality, and politics? Beyond having read the description of this very briefly a couple of days ago, don't know a huge amount about Eclipsium. It promises to be non-Euclidean, which, as I say in the title, I think is the new Lovecraftian. Although non-Euclidean, Lovecraftian has been used to describe too many things, and it's had a kind of linguistic blow, whereas non-Euclidean at least has to involve something that's bigger on the inside than on the outside, or a bottle that contains itself, or something like that. Handedness is astrology for men? Absolutely not. Handedness is an excuse for corporal punishment from 1920s schoolmasters. It's a real thing in the world. Or maybe it is socially constructed. I could believe it. Handedness is socially constructed. In the true utopia, we all use both hands all the time. Hello and bark. You can say bark if you like. It's not encouraged, but you won't be punished for it. I watched a video where people made Doom, in brackets 1993, non-Euclidean, by actually changing the value of pi in the game engine. That's interesting. I might look at that. In a true utopia, you use no hands at all? What? Do you want to live in a kicking planet? Bread. Okay, in we go. Pecking? Oh, am I playing or is this a cutscene? Either way, it's beautiful. Hell yeah. Halftone. Halftone's back, baby. My head is... I keep thinking about going back to Darkseid. If I can only work out why that pillow thing doesn't work. I do actually... I want to play the sequel. I don't want to play the sequel unless I do the first one. I should go back to Darkseid. Maybe next Thursday we'll go back to Darkseid. That will bring people in. I won't struggle to hit the target if I play in Darkseid. There's a sequel? Yeah. Darkseid 2, yeah, it's even more Darkseedy. Darkseedy doesn't scan well as a word. Okay, here we are. We're a big hand. Very MS-DOS. I quite enjoy it. That's our... Is that what we dreamed? Let me grab these. What do we think? Dog tags, razor blades, collectible cards, the little cards you put in lanyards to get into the library or show you work for the NHS. Oh no, I'm just scrunching my flower. Misunderstood. Oh, there's my injection. That's probably a stim pack to give me health. I don't think I'm on H. Very fancy to have a proper syringe, though, if you are an addict. Very, very middle class. Pilbistaplaps? Could be, yeah. Could be some ibuprofen. How many arms have I got? What do you mean? Sorry, is this in the game? Oh, we can have a go on the glob. Oh, I love a spinning glob. Do you know you don't see globs these days? If you watch Mad Men, everyone's got a glob, and they're always rotating their glob and going, "Oh, that's Paraguay." I haven't seen a glob in someone's house in absolutely years. I suppose because we've got Google Maps on our phone, right? We don't need a glob anymore. Oh yeah, it's Paraguay, isn't it? Well, Edward growing up, yeah, we all did growing up. Oh, we loved globs. They've fallen off big time. Globs and pogs. Oh, I'm ill. Here's my oxygen. Here's my chart. Maybe I'm in hospital. Here's my pole, just in case I need a drip, I suppose. Here's some like Goya-style paintings. It's a hospital, but they've also just got lots of blister packs out. Oh, hello. This is my big key. It's my key to the city from the mayor. Wonderful. And the first puzzle is use key on door. Now that's gaming. No, I wasn't saying that was Paraguay. I was just spinning the glob. I can't recognize a single continent on here. Giving an example of what someone might say. Giving an example of dialogue that could happen in the world. Can I just say, I loved atlases. Oh no, I've come back in the wrong door. I loved atlases as a kid. I was obsessed with atlases, a real special interest of mine. Loved an atlas, loved comparing atlases, loved different projections on the world into 2D space. I was one of those kids that could talk about the Mercator projection until your ears fell off. Ah, lovely. Sure, watches Mad Men these things, used to have your handle on things. I think Mad Men surely falls into that. Mad Men surely falls into that category like Breaking Bad, where possibly even more so than Breaking Bad, where people watch it and be like, "This guy's really cool." While it shows you he's sort of breaking down, he hasn't got a handle on the basics of his life. He is a hollowness where values should be, as an allegory for America just seeking commercialism over any kind of principle. I'd be like, he's really cool. Look how many people he's fucking. Look how many guys this guy's shagging. This guy's shagging every day in between bouts of just staring out of the window, wondering where his soul has gone. I'm like, oh man, I wish that was me. God, I wish I were him. We started trying to watch. We watched it just before we left the Netherlands. We finished The Sopranos, and I was like, this might be the greatest television show I've ever seen in my life. Although, admittedly, I did say that about Star Trek Deep Space Nine, so, you know, I'm always quite impressed with the last thing I've seen. But then we thought, let's watch Mad Men, and I found it too boring. I got a season and a half through, and I've convinced Jamper to sack it off so we can watch Lost. And now we're watching Lost of an evening, and I'm having a great time. I never watched Lost all the way through, and I'm spending the whole time being like, how are they going to pay this off? How are you going to pay this off? Oh yes, one thing you'll notice about me is that I will never stay still in a video game if I'm talking. I will move into the kind of rapid eye movement of video game locomotion. You know, it's pretty agile for someone who's absolutely not paying attention. 6 Feet Under is good. Shall I watch 6 Feet Under is good? Shall I watch 6 Feet Under? I could put it on the list. I had a teacher who had a map of the world in their classroom where south was at the top. They were not a geography teacher. That's a shame. Isn't it weird when, like, I'm sure a good portion of you are in some sense precocious children, and how many of you had the point where, like, the teacher was just wrong about something, and you were, like, still in key stage 1, you know, primary education, elementary school, and the teacher's just wrong about something that you've, like, recently read or recently know, and you're not really sure what to do about it. And different teachers respond very, very differently to being corrected by a child. Ever tried young Sheldon? Toe rag. Yeah, this is the north now. I mean, there's like, yeah, a lot of Northern England and a lot of just working class Britain is very, you know, anti-intellectual by nature, but also just being a young bookish child in a working class neighborhood. Sort of no point open your mouth, is there? There's no point. Half of the vocabulary you've now picked up from books will, like, have you branded a witch, so you may as well keep your mouth shut. I was a ludicrously quiet child, and I'm making up for lost time. Good hatchet, thank you. Let's use the hatchet. Puzzle resolved. Oh yes, beautiful, beautiful normal chopping. This happened to me often. I was known as a know-it-all. Yeah, I remember being teased for, like, what was the word? Like, I don't know, I said something like confirm or establish. And they were like, fucking hell. Oh, fucking hell. And I was like, oh, that was me dialing things down. I once said at the age of 10 the phrase, I do believe, in front of my family, and they laughed for 15 minutes. That is quite funny, though, Big Wooden Bridge. I know you're joining in, and I should take your side. That is quite funny. That's like Little House on the Prairie language. It's quite funny for you to say that. But I don't think you should be discouraged from talking like that. Why not? I got bullied for about a year saying undoubtedly. Undoubtedly. Yeah, I sort of am siding with your persecutors on this one. I said establish or confirm. I would defend that. I think that's an okay word in any register at any time. Undoubtedly, I do believe. I don't know. I think they were helpfully shaving bits off your vocabulary that you don't need. They'll help you trim in the fat. Mine was, I know how to navigate a Bible. That's fine to say. Navigate. What's the offending term there? Navigate. That's fine. Navigate. There's no good synonym for navigate. You have to use a phrase of more smaller words. Can't believe Sean goes then carrying the bullying. Yeah, I don't know what's gotten into me really. I was so centered yesterday. Yesterday I was in such a good place, and today I think I've turned back into a little wretch. Why is the hand doing that? This forwards. This is backwards, isn't it? I had to explain what a paradigm shift was to who. To be fair, maybe not a wildly important thing to know. What's the game, please? This is called Eclipsium. How to basic with a hand like that? Yeah, let's hope I can find an egg. Or something, or some bread, sorry, or some bread. Sean's empathy has gone non-Euclidean. Yes, because I have there's more empathy inside me than it can be contained by my exterior perimeter. Bread. Oh, there it is. There's the thing. That's the thing from the title screen. Okay, I got this far before and then just was still, wasn't I? But this time I will progress. This dead end won't hold me. I'm too persistent. I was going to say fastidious, but after the conversation we've just had, I think I would be hoisted by my own petard. Hoisted by my own bomb. Hoisted by my own explosive. Is that what a petard is? Like a little bomb, is it? Or is it a wig? No, hoisted by wig. Hoisted by my wig. It's an old-fashioned wig, right? Pick up the lamp, thanks, Massflas. I actually think the interact button just turns it on and off or toggles the brightness. A little bit less bright. Oh, yeah. That's all I got, yeah. But a petard was a bomb. Okay, good. I was just hedging my bets. I didn't want to seem like a bit of a know-it-all for knowing that a petard was a bomb, right? So I threw a bit of... Oh, hello. Why do you do that with your hand occasionally? What ought I to take from that? Okay, it's a puzzle game. We've got to think. We've got to think. That was the full sentence. We've got to think. One might think, just go and get the hatchet, right? Because the thing blocking our progress is trees. So why would we need... That's not an item. Oh, is there a fork in the road? Maybe we just went the wrong way. Ah, this feels slightly different. A bit more fence. I'm taking fence as a clue. It was a bomb, but now my mental image of someone being dragged up by their jocks is ruined. Hoisted by their petard is one of those great phrases where I think a lot of us have heard it, but like I'm not really confident on what it means or where it came from. Presumably someone lit a bomb to kill someone else and then it exploded. Which is the kind of thing that happened to me. If I got drafted into a war, they wouldn't trust me with a grenade. Oh, hello. A couple of buddies.
Bread.
Buddy 1 and Buddy 2. I think Shakespeare is credited with inventing it. Were there bombs around in Shakespeare's time? Shakespeare was concurrent with bombs. Well, thinking about it, gunpowder's insanely old. So why not? Very much so. Why, he lived in the golden era of bombs, did he? Stratford-upon-Avon, Bomb City. Yeah, gunpowder was, but was putting it into a bomb? You have to invent that after gunpowder, don't you? That's a separate invention. Just because you've invented glass doesn't mean you've invented the mirror. You have to then invent the mirror. Alpha the dog from my Rate My Take a Walk is still kicking, which is an incredible joy. Oh, that's great. Was it having a health crisis? Oh. A noise. Just old. Yeah, sometimes things just get old and you have to just... Do you believe in the idea that you can pre-mourn? Do you think that you could pre-mourn something like a death so that when it does happen, you've taken the sting out of it? Oh, hello. Hello. Me and my friends made a music video for a band who was composed of people who then became good friends of ours. And we used a shot of this corridor that was in an art gallery. It wasn't eyes, but it was full of faces, I think. Maybe just like red faces extruding from a red corridor. And we got a battery-powered LED light and sort of shone it down over a period. And then sped that up in post to use for some of the scenes. Just a memory that comes flooding back when you're in the eye corridor. Absolutely pre-mourn, yeah? We're pre-mourn believers. I definitely give it a good go. I'm skeptical of of the effectiveness. I think it can't hurt. It's not going to make things worse to pre-mourn. No? All right, that's cheeky. That's not solving a puzzle, is it? Jumping on that. That's not interactable, so that's not a thing to worry about. Oh, hello. Are you part of a puzzle? sometimes this guy puts his hand out. Should I invest some of my brain into working out why that might be? That's going to be important. Is this anything? No. Ah, lovely. My lovely calming room. Let's just give the flowers a quick tug. What's the point if you haven't tugged on your flowers? Oh, okay. That's good. The save point is... Oh. I really should go out of that room backwards one day. Oh, yeah. Okay. And the rock slide has happened behind me, so I can't go backwards. And I have a candle. I mean, last time the solution was the puzzle was just going the other way. So I'm hopeful that there's something... Hello. I think it's the worst body part to have to interact with, really, an eyeball. I once wrote a short story about a guy who wakes up and there's an eyeball next to his bed. Like a big eyeball. Maybe, think bigger than a basketball, like a really large eyeball. And it would make sort of a gentle noise when you touch it. And every time you'd sort of move it or put it somewhere else, next day it was just on his bedside cabinet again. And then one day he tries touching the actual pupil, the pupil of the eye, and weirdly, around like the white of the eye, you know, you could just hold it. It's like a big fleshy, perfectly circular sac. But if you touch against the black of the pupil, it's got no resistance, and your hand can just go straight in. And when he does put his hand in, he can feel like a shape in there, and he pulls it out, and it's a puck. It's a hockey puck. But that's all that's in there. And he goes, well, I don't, you know, can't make any sense of that. Next day, goes to bed, wakes up, picks up the eye again, and it feels like there's something in there. So he puts his hand through the pupil, and in there is a glove. It's a hockey glove. And day by day, he keeps putting his hand in the pupil, and he gets 2 hockey gloves, full hockey kit. Eventually, pulls out like a whole hockey stick, and goes, "What is it you want, eyeball? Do you want me to play hockey? Do you want me to get into hockey? Are you sort of encouraging me to become a hockey player?" And once he's got everything out of the eye, it stops producing stuff. And he goes, well, I don't know what to do. I'm going to play hockey and see if, you know, that satisfies the eyeball. And so he starts playing hockey, and he sort of tells oh, there's a switch now. Let me just finish my eyeball story. He starts playing hockey, and he tells the eyeball and shows the eyeball, like, I'm playing hockey, I'm doing well. And he gets into nationals, and eventually he wins, like, the top of the league. He's like a professional hockey player, and he goes, is this not what you want? I've dedicated the last 5 years of my life to reaching the upper echelons of hockey. And he picks the eyeball up, and he can feel there's something just light in there. And he goes, oh, what's this? And he puts his hand through the pupil, and he pulls out a golf ball. And that was the end of the story. I didn't try to publish it anyway. I just wrote it for me. That's just a little story I wrote. Maybe at some point. I think it would make a great video game. I'm done now, Burnzoid. No more eyeball. Did anyone enjoy the story? Just a lot of people just saying content warning, eyeball talk. Well, all right. That's why I never really pushed to publish it anywhere. Safe to return. All right. Well. I missed the start of the story. No, the Burnzoid will leave permanently. That'll be the end of Burnzoid, and we need people in order to get the chatters numbers up so the stream can start. So I pushed that switch, but now it's extremely unclear what to do. I like the story until the ending. What, when it revealed it was more of a Shaggy Dog style joke than a real short story. Oh, hello. Aha. And now I would... Oh, and then I'm going to send it over. It's the Crystal Maze. I don't understand the logic of the puzzle. Why has this being over here made this happen? Okay, I don't understand. But I did it. Yeah, that's fair. I've always enjoyed the Shaggy Dog story as a medium. Oh, hello. It's some bits of a skeleton. None of my favourite bits, though. Such as the left arm, the right leg, and the head. Oh, and the pelvis. Fortunately, those are all my favourite parts, and they're all missing. It got rid of the tentacles on Switch. Oh, I see. Hello. Yes, my beautiful room. Oh, telly. Oh, telly? Telly? Okay, we're going to do it backwards. Oh. Keeps the door frame, though. Alright, so. Do you set the room on fire? I don't think so. There's only certain things you can interact with, and it shows you that because your hand makes a specific interact animation. So, bringing light, the eyeballs also have tentacles. And when the eyes are shut, they retract their tentacles. I see, and I want to light this, right? So, one thing can be retracted at a time. I'm going to use that to solve a puzzle. A little bone. You know, I should be able to emphasize, I really don't like things going near my eye, or the idea of my eye being touched, or seeing another human's eye being touched. But a very large, fantastical eye doesn't evoke the same fear and disgust in me. So another one of those. So we want that over there, which is then going to... That's now active because the tentacles haven't got it. Oh, but it needs 3. So 2 out of 3 are on. Fine. Fine. We have a flare. And we also have this. And it feels like we need this on as well. So maybe I could like leave the flare over there. That would be very useful. Well, no, do you know what I've started doing? Adamantium, and this is shameful. See, the puff of air, I don't know how it is over by you, but the puff of air is a relatively recent addition to the eye examination. I feel like they didn't do it like 5 years ago. And I'm sure it's good for you and the opticians are always saying this, but I just go, don't do it to me. You're not going to stop me flinching. You're never in a million years going to stop me flinching. And every time I do it, I just I just jump and flinch. And I said, just don't do it, because it's making me stop getting my eye examined. I need to get another eye examination now. I'm sure my prescription's gotten duffed up again, but I'm gonna have that little fight with them about the puff of air. I can't have air puffed in my eye. I hate it so much. It's true, you're never ready. It's been in use a long time, and they've actually got a new method to check whatever it checks without that puff. Oh, the puff is going to fade out. I'm sure whatever new technology is going to, if it's better, it's going to spread. Maybe I'll just hold off on my eye exam until the puff of air check is done, is gone. If it did the thing where they drip blood into it, I don't mind that so much. I find it fortifies the iron in my eyeball. Oh really? They don't push me for contacts. That's another thing I can't deal with. Yeah, I'm squeamish about eyes, but not big fantasy eyes. I can deal with them. Oh, hang on. Oh no, you're missing a fourth. There were 4 things here. So over here, I have a choice. This switch. I'm confused. If that's over here, I want them green, right? But they're blue. But I want them to be green. Oh. I don't understand what I've done, but I can progress. Oh look, it's my favourite part of the skull. Of the skeleton, sorry. Can I pick you up? Hello? Aha. It's my favourite part of the skeleton. Oh. Hello, Fluff.
Thank you for triggering the welcome bear. I love to see new faces in the chat, and I love to see this community go from strength to strength.
And did you enjoy that, Mighty? Is that a good review? I think this DOS style pixelated art is very nice. I wouldn't say no to a run button. If someone came up to me with a big hammer and said, I want to put a run button in Eclipsium, I'd say, well, I'd better let you then. Given that you have a big hammer. You call the shots here. I don't have a hammer. Oh, lovely. An inner tube and a map. And some of that hard to get mineral from the planet of Pandora. Unobtainium. What's this? Crisps? Fisherman's friends? Mints? Pencil case? Completely unidentifiable in this art style. What are you? A fish? Fillet? Well, the colours may remind you of Elden Ring, but they're other than that, I think the art style diverges quite a lot. Okay, let's go. We're heading to the tower. Are we? Oh yeah, we are. Great, tower time. Look at the colours. Just look at this. It's like playing the original ASCII Dwarf Fortress. That's beautiful. This should be the game. Oh. Never mind. Did you hear that someone chopped down the Erd tree? That's mad, isn't it? It's been there for millennia. Take Marika to court, I say. Someone chopped down the Erd tree. People writing poems about it, writing little songs. I keep meaning to check out. Someone's written some panpipe music about the Sycamore Gap tree. I remember reading the article and being like, I gotta hear this. Okay, submarine mode. Let's get going. Can I do this? Beautiful. That's gaming. When you turn a crank, that's when you're playing a game. Turning a crank is the most purest expression. A crank with a primary color, that is the most purest expression of game design. Oh, shipping containers. Now this is non-Euclidean. Ever done a crank in real life? I don't know. What do you call all these things? Right, I'm going to give you a list and tell me what category I'm describing. Levers, cranks, pulleys, chains, handles. What are all these things? Is the game compelling? It's a good backdrop for just having a chat. I think it's very pretty. It's nice to see. The puzzles are quite lightweight, and sort of the cool art and atmosphere sort of gives way so you can do those puzzles. So I don't know. I'm not having a bad time. Mechanisms, interactables. No, I'm talking about in real life. I don't want just vocabulary that's useful in the video game realm. Work touches. Mechanisms, I think that's good. Mechanisms. And is a light switch a mechanism, or is that doing too much of the physical labor for you? Oh, hello. Is that a tin opener? Need to find me a tin. Oh, and a telly. Hell yeah. Cow and chicken. No. Light switches are electronic, so not a mechanism then. Switches and mechanisms. So we're putting switches in its own category that we say in the category phrase, switches and mechanisms. Ah, here we go. Shut the doors. Shut the doors. I'm good. I've completed the game. I've always wanted to throw... What's a Frankenstein switch? And on the Switch, I've got these switches that only respond if you give them a big clonk. Oh, I love a big, thick switch coated in an inch of rubber, and the person goes, oh, God. I got scared. Someone goes, oh, you got to press that really hard. You got to press that 3 times with your thumb. Oh, don't go in the water. That's the message, is it? Sure. Obvious now, really. Given how obviously bad the noise was. Are you a fan of the cooker switch? You mean what do you mean, the cooker switch? The clicker? The clicker that lights the ignition so that you can get gas through the hobs, or the similar one that does it for the oven? I love clicking a big switch. Honestly, I should get a calculator just for the action. I'm surprised I don't have a mechanical keyboard, to be honest. I've also to railway switch is just a crank handle. When I was a kid, I went on a few barge holidays, and I'd always have to be the one who'd like run off and do the locks and stuff. That's probably the one I've got the most romantic associations with. The little bits of physical faff you have to do just to get through different levels of canal. Frankenstein switch plate cover toggle. Oh! And it's called I can see why it's called a Frankenstein switch. This is the Frankenstein switch, of course. That's fun. But you want sparks to fly off it, right? You want it to, like, sparks should fly off it and other light bulbs start flickering. This before or after the orb? I don't know. Some weeks it was just wall-to-wall orb, so it stops making sense. Hello. Oh, maybe I jump from box to box. Look. If I can go up there, I can go boxy to boxy. B to B. Oh no! B2B me! B2B! Oh god. Yeah, would you like to do a capture, Mighty? We can do a capture. I forgot to test for bots actually this time. Would you like to do a capture? I did want to instate it as a thing we did at the beginning of it. I didn't do a roll call either. I got a bit turned around. Whoops. There could be hundreds of bots watching. Well, they didn't say hello in chat. Nice. I can prove my humanity really easily. I could start talking about the ineffable. Let me up. Humans always win. Robots always lose. You know, I am convinced of the evils of AI, and I do think we're entering a worrying new age. But what I will say, right, is if I was destroying a robot and the robot started saying, "That hurts, stop it, you're bullying me, I'm upset," I would not be able to continue. No matter what. No matter what I know in my mind, I would not be able to continue. I would worry that I'd become evil. Oh, I'm moving the meat. Everybody gather around. Bring your aunts. We are shifting the meat. The meat has moved. Oh, we're trying to make a path, are we? We're trying to make a... How would you react if the robot started getting turned on by you hitting it? I don't know. I mean, if I were to say I would continue hitting it for whatever reason compelled me to start, I don't want to sound like a kink shamer. I think the only non-problematic response is that it would have no impact on me, and I would allow the robot to say it's getting off on my destroying it. Because to be disgusted, I think, would be problematically kink shaming. If it was a sexy robot, you could probably continue. I don't know. I don't think I'd be gratified by destroying a sexy object. I don't know what I don't know what are the implicit claims of what's happening right now. If a robot got emotionally hurt by not inviting them to the cinema or something, would you be... No, because it's not my obligation to ask people to the cinema. Look, I've given pity invites in my time. I'm not above empathy. And I'm not above pity, specifically. Empathy's worst cousin. But I'm not obliged to invite people to the cinema. Humans, even. Oh, I heard you went to the cinema the other day without me and that hurt my feelings. Well, sorry, you're not... We've got no... I'm not obliged to invite you to the cinema. Yeah, should we do that? It's bath time tomorrow. Maybe we could destroy some sexy objects. What do you think is the sexiest object? I'm trying to think. I think the first sexy object in history is like the Venus of Willendorf. So we could smash that with a hammer. No, there's no bullying, but I mean, you can do, I suppose, but there's also just, I didn't want to go with you to the cinema. And you don't think they want to take a bath? The Chicago bean. I can understand that. Any sufficiently round object has a certain allure. As I've always said, there's sensuality to an orb. I don't let anyone around my house unless I've had a bath. What if they had to take you because they need an adult for the film age? Oh, sorry, I'm hanging out with a child robot. I'm hanging around with a robot that's under 13. No, this is getting worse and worse. I don't want to hang out with a robot that's my age. I wasn't wittering about the absolute dog dirt level conversation topics here. I'd have been through this meat in a heartbeat. Hello, bird. People are talking about the destruction of sexy objects. And also there's been discussion about the ethics of AI if a robot feels bullied. Altogether, not very productive stuff. Oh no, I've ruined the meat. Are needing assistance? Do you know, I always end up just brute forcing these things. Like, eventually, it'll just get done by accident. Has there been an attempt to understand the puzzle, or are we just clicking buttons until the meat aligns? I know little bits. If you press this one, then only the first row rotates. And if you press the last one, all of it rotates. So I guess the next step would be to work out, gain an intuitive understanding of what the middle button does. Oh, the middle button does the top three. Okay, so let's do this just until the back is in the right position. Okay, the back is in the right position. We'll never press that button again. Now we'll do this until that's in the right position. Oh, great. I've done well. My hand is ready. Ah, brilliant. A crank. Now I'm gaming. It's always gaming when you've got a crank. Bread. Bread. We can't talk about some round objects, as I've discovered. And that's ovoid, my friend. No one's invited to talk about an oval. Although we did have the Chicago bean, so I guess there's no way around it. Again, no way around it. Some things are excluded. But there are plenty of people with the requisite more points to bring back the ovoids that cannot be named. So it's all within your powers. Not Albrot's powers. Okay. It would possibly take... It would still take about 40, just because the multiplicatory power of... Oh, am I putting... Oh. Yeah, what are you saying, hand? What is it, hand? Bread. What is it, hand? Okay, great. So I need 2 more cranks. Okay, again, these are really small fry. This is... It's small fry to the point of not being... Bread. Oh, did Albrot add them? Who added and who removed?
Done.
That's my question. I need to learn who's on which team, because it's never that clear to me. Apart from Bread Santa, I know which team he's on. Bread. Okay. Okay, I guess I'm just wandering this area looking for a crank. Anything? No. Crank? Was it a crank? Do you know, this is honestly the kind of place I'd love to hang out. There was, for a while, I used to be quite obsessed with a ghost walk guy. And if he hadn't removed his videos off of YouTube, I absolutely would have shown him to everyone. He was a pet interest of mine. He reminded me a lot of Alan Partridge, if Alan Partridge was really into ghost walks. Because he would claim he invented the theatrical ghost walk, the idea of like putting a bit of pageantry into a ghost walk. He'd say he invented that, and every time someone else did a ghost walk, he would like intersect his ghost walk route to intersect with theirs, and then like slag them off during their ghost walk, and create these horrific bitter rivalries. Oh, turn my new one. Yeah, that might. And he would make these videos where he would just sort of, he'd try and make them spooky, but also he'd use them to like dispense with his grievances. And he'd like sit, I think there's one where he was sat in this room full of porcelain dolls lit only by a candle, and he went, "Oh, I was the first person to do a ghost walk in this city. Everyone else is ripping me off." He was just one of the funniest characters I'd ever seen. And then he tried to expand to Glasgow. And he tried to walk people around the necropolis. And he believed like the council was sabotaging him. And they said, "Oh, we need a trader's license." I mean, I'm not selling anything. I'm not selling like apples or pears or something, giving people a walk. Why would I need a trader's license? But he did this in a basement under the cathedral or somewhere, while also talking to like a haunted ventriloquist doll, who'd sometimes, the ventriloquist doll had a catchphrase where he'd go, "This country's going to the dogs." And he'd go, yeah, it is. This country is going to the dogs. Just an incredible guy. I met him once. I purposely did a lot of gigs in the city he ghost walked in. And he was in the beer garden of a place where I was doing a show. And I went, "Oh, are you such and such?" And he was smoking a little, it definitely was a little marijuana cigarette. He was smoking a little joint. And he went, yeah, I'm making a boat. I'm going to put it in the lake in the middle of the sea. I'm like, "Oh, are you allowed to do that? Like, won't the council or anyone have something to say about you launching a ghost boat on the lake?" And he went, "Fuck 'em." "Fuck 'em, I'm going to launch my ghost boat." He can't pull this crank. Hello, Harry. Just talking about one of my favourite guys. What I can tell you, right, if you're at all interested in this guy, one piece of media that I know still exists, and I scorn and curse myself for not downloading the videos I've just described. There is an episode of him on Come Dine With Me. Now, for Adamantium and Albrot, do you know what Come Dine With Me is? Can you jump on that door that's blocked by barrels? I had been assuming that obstacles like that you're just supposed to ignore, but maybe. Never heard of that. So it's a very popular, maybe gone now. Is Come Dine With Me still gone? It's just a very popular, very British reality TV show where people host dinner parties at their house. They've done some with minor celebrities, some that are just most members of the public. The voiceover's quite scathing about them, quite rude, really, about them. No, invisible wall, even though I'm, even though visibly I think I should be able to go through that. And he went on that. And he kept trying to make it ghost themed. And keep in mind, this is a dinner party show. People are often very catty and vote other people down, and it's produced a lot of very good memes over the years. But he did one, and in order to make it spooky, he did it in an abandoned chair warehouse or an abandoned shoe warehouse. But it didn't have any central heating, and this was autumn, so it was freezing cold. And he couldn't prepare food because all he brought around was like a microwave that you could plug in, so he just heated up mushroom soup and stuff. But he also had this assistant like try and do ghost scares on him, and none of them worked. None of them were really scared by the ghost stuff, and everyone just started teasing him. And one woman had to like push through, be like, "Look, he's trying to do something original. He's trying to scare us. It hasn't all worked. He's done a few magic tricks and they haven't worked either. But be nice to him, I think he's a sweet old guy." Oh. Just when you're trying to be like the captain of horror, and one of the people at the dinner party has to be like, "Stop bullying this guy." He hasn't succeeded at anything he's tried to do, but I think it's sweet that he tried. Oh, hello. Bang. Anyway, yeah. If you want more details about this guy or searchable information on how to enjoy whatever remains. Over COVID, he sort of took a turn, and I stopped enjoying him as much because he became a Facebook DJ, a Facebook live DJ over COVID, and then became very hardcore conspiracy theorist. And the ghost stuff wasn't so much a part of his brand anymore, and I lost interest. the fact that he was specifically pushing ghost stuff was really a big part of the hook for me. What's he called? I'll talk about it somewhere else. I think name-checking people that I've been deriding is unkind. Would he do well and come down with me? Not really. I don't think he could cook. I think he'd make everyone a rustler's burger, and yet some person would still get food poisoning. I went on a ghost walk at the Glass Museum in Stourbridge. It built to this moment in the big brick cone chimney where there were spooky noises echoing around. And just before the crescendo of the spook, some woman from reception came over, reached behind the tour guide, pulling a cassette player hidden behind him. In view of everyone, just pressed stop on the spooky noises. And just said, "That's been doing my head in all day," before leaving our tour guide lost for words and spook blue-balled. Yeah, that's really funny. But that's better, isn't it? Wouldn't you love to have an experience like that? Like, if I was doing a ghost walk, you'd want a funny, memorable experience like that everyone thought they were the one person who saw that happen. When I was a child, I think we were on like a family holiday to Spain somewhere. Just one of the very commercially, completely Brit-infested parts of like the south coast of Spain. And I went on a horror thing. And I must have been, you know, quite young, but it was like an immersive horror thing that you walk through, and it was alien autopsy themed, and they had a lot of flashing lights where like you couldn't tell if certain things were moving, or like you couldn't tell if there was someone in that costume and they might move and do a jump scare, or this is just you know, just a prop. And at one point at the end, of course, one of the things breaks through containment and starts coming for you. And I was a bit too, I just think I was a bit too young for this. The completely walking around. I've done ghost train stuff that's, you know, automated and on rails, and you can sort of shut your eyes and not think about things if you get a bit too scared. But when you have to walk through it, I just found that way too scary. And so when the thing came out and started like moving towards you, I just started shouting "fuck off" at it. "Fuck off, fuck off." And then the lights came up and a woman in like a proper like suit, like a proper formal wear, came out and said, you due to like our workers' rights stuff, you can't do that. You have to apologize to the alien. You can't swear at it. This guy works here. This guy's just doing his job. You can't treat him like that. And from a workers' rights perspective, I do agree, but I thought I was going to die. I thought this creature was here to kill me, and that was the point, wasn't it? That was the point of the whole artifice. So I don't know. I felt a little bit a little bit sore that I had to apologize to the alien. It sounded like a valid reaction. Yeah, I was... What more do you want? I thought I was going to die. Sorry. I mean, you should give this person a raise. At least definitely a raise enough to put up with the hazard pay of being told to fuck off by a child. I was engaging with his art on the most pure level. I literally thought he was going to eviscerate me. I wish I had like, I don't know. It was just an incredible experience. I haven't had anything that immersion breaking until I like tried to do an escape room. Someone came through on the walkie-talkie because I was just so bad at mental maths. They just broke the experience to be like, I'm just going to give you a hand because otherwise you're not going to really see most of this thing. You're about to run out of time because you can't like do division in your head. Because you know what it was, is that I'd done a bit of mental maths, but I'd done it clearly wrong. But I had not, for some reason, I was just so confident that I'd done the sum correctly, I didn't go back to it. There was a good video by a performer who talked about being a scarer at Universal Studios and all the shit the actors get. I mean, I can only assume. I have seen some stuff on like TikTok and like they call them scare actors, and then I've seen I've seen like the TikTok equivalent of subtweets of being like, a good scare actor does this. You know, some bad scare actors do this, and they shouldn't. And I get the sense that, especially, I know that America has a greater culture of like big haunted houses, and even like residential haunted houses, where some people might haunted houseify their own house and let members of the neighborhood go in. I've never come across anything like that. I don't think. Obviously, America's got a bigger Halloween tradition, and I think people are more likely to go absolutely bonkers over Christmas here. But the thing I have picked up on through these subtweet style videos is there's a lot of like male scare actors who really want to make children scared until they vomit, and a lot of the female scare actors are like, let's not live out some weird power fantasy on how much you could scare people in this role. We're mainly here to just give little jump scares to kids. Let's not go absolutely balmy over it. This is Scottish guising erasure? It may well be. I'm sorry for erasing you, Burnzoid. I acknowledge you now. I see now that you are real. Oh, that's sad. That's fairly uncommon these days. Okay. Was that after like I only recently like learnt little bits of like little panics about like razor blades in the Mars bars and stuff? Is that what sort of phased out a lot of the more excessive Halloween novelties and spooky things? Oh, this is good. One crank for me. Thank you. Thank you for cranky. The water, that sounds really good. Pretty much all Halloween, yeah, I heard that, yeah. That it was originally like the whole pumpkin carving thing, that was an American adaptation of like turnip carving, which was popularized in Scotland. Is that right? Have I got that right? Have I got anything right? Swedes? Aren't they the same thing? I always thought turnip and Swede was synonymous. Oh, I'm about to take it to school again. Open the schools. Can I jump on this railing? Oh. Oh, okay, I'm another row back. So that one's done, but maybe there's more? Does it feel like there's more? There's a history of Mr. Wimpy using his position of power for ill. Do go on. I'm listening. You've caught my eye. No! Hang on, there was an open container down there. While it was dangerous, it was real. As tastes have evolved to more intense scares, those are harder to achieve at home, so people go to theme park for scares now, yeah. And also, aren't there those, like, completely over-the-top scare places where, like, a micro-industry is formed of people who, like, create these completely bespoke but completely hardcore scares of, like, pretending a terrorist has kidnapped you or something, or that you're going to get killed? And they seem to be just for bragging rights. But then I guess that's what a lot of the spooky, scary stuff was for in the first place. Okay, if you look directly in front of me, there's a blue one here, and then there's a green one. And I think underneath the green one, there's actually an opening, and perhaps I want to go over there. Oh. Just give my plants a little shuffle. Maybe I'm wrong. It doesn't seem like I could go beneath the water level there. I only ever get scared if I'm in a simulated siege environment. When does that happen to you? I saw one of those advertisements where you get abducted in a van for the weekend.
Bread.
Yeah. I mean, I can picture the kind of people that might want to go on something like that. I mean, I think I went to school with some. That's a very, like, someone you went to school with kind of thing to indulge in. Oh, hello. Will that lower the water level? Oh, lowering the water level. Now that's gaming. That's a level of gaming I've not thought about in quite some time. And I was right. It is the... it was that open one, but the water level had to be lowered as a prerequisite. Nice. Crank. I'd be worried my survival instincts were kicking and end up killing them accidentally. Or at least you'd say fuck off, right? At the very least, you'd swear at them. And then someone would have to ask you to apologise. Oh, yes. Yes, hello? Oh, okay. It's like I've locked on to the centre of this, so I can't... Oh, it's a crank. Great. Thank you. Is that the middle of the tower? Who knows? Probably not worth thinking about things too much. Just enjoy. Well, I don't think there was ever a fear that I was going to kill the alien. He was a full-grown guy, and I was a scared child. But I understand the policy of don't swear at our employees. Like, I understand, but when you apply that to the alien, you know, you end up with a little bit of an absurd consequence. I did the one that's always running in Universal LA as a teenager, and I had to sleep with the lights on for a few nights because I was so scared. Yeah, I was scared of a lot of things as a kid. I don't think there's any shame in being terrified. I remember when I first watched the Japanese film of The Ring, and that was it. That was the end of my sleeping. That did my head in. And for some reason, I kind of cured it by reading all the books. And the books are mad. Has anyone read the books? Has anyone read the books of The Ring? I hate feeling scared. Never understood the draw. Yeah, I think I outgrew it. I think I had some, like, thrill-seeker cousins, I want to say. Maybe I was sort of following their lead on what was supposed to be fun when you go to the theme park. There are books of The Ring. It was all based on a book, yeah. So it was a book, Japanese book, then a Japanese film, and then an American adaptation. And then the Japanese films divert from the books because they're not finished. Then the American films draw from the Japanese film sequels and sort of mix in some of their own stuff. But the book, goes ring, loop, and then spiral. And they're really weird. The first book's really good. I'd say it's actually just quite a good book, worth a read. And then the second two books go in this bizarre direction where, like, you know, the premise of The Ring, you watch this videotape and then within 7 days you either have to pass that on or Sadako Yamamura comes out of the TV and gets you. And what she's really looking for is to impregnate women. She wants to reproduce herself, and the only reason she kills men is that you know, they're not viable. They're not like viable hosts for her. And by the end of like the second book, I think, she's been successful. This, you know, the girl at the bottom of the well. And she has in fact got her film, the film that impregnates you, has become a major motion release shown at the cinema, and a book which also will have the same effect as the videotape is now like coming out as a bestseller. So she's just taken over the entire world. And then the third book, which is bad, and I just couldn't get my head around. Maybe I'll give it another go. Is a bunch of people looking at a screen of a simulation of a world, being like, "Oh, something's happened. One of these data points has just taken over the whole simulation. What's happened there?" And then I think she tries to escape that simulation to go into what we now are discovering is the real world. And I think that one loses me. That loses me there. But the first book, as a standalone, that's just like a novelization, the original novel of The Ring, is pretty good. But yeah, got really into the lore of The Ring as a kid, but mainly because the film really scared me, and I thought by just pushing all the way through it, I could go to sleep again. And sort of, I could. Sort of. That sort of worked. Oh, invisible wall. I thought the original film... Has anyone seen the original Japanese film of The Ring? There's a lot of stuff about that film that I think is a bit sort of goofier. The American film adaptation is very, very bad. And they stifle like the scene. You know, that whole scene when she comes out of the telly. In the Japanese film, they tried to do that with practical effects, and it's very slow and protracted, and that's what I found so compelling, so scary. And then when I watched the because it was coming from this long tradition of Japanese ghost media, you know, all of like spurned women here to kill men coming out of, you know, dark shapes in, you know, buildings and apartments and household objects. Some aspect of Japanese patriarchy and Shintoism made manifest in nighttime violence. But in the American film, she just kind of jump scares out of the TV and it's like done. And I thought that was a shame. Isn't the female character in the American version a man in the original? Oh, do you know what? You might be right. In the book, I think it's actually two men doing the case. I think it might actually be a police officer and maybe like an epidemiologist. They're really interested in this idea of a ghost as a virus. That is like the concept. The Ring is a ghost story where the ghost is treated like a virus that can spread like a pandemic, which is an interesting concept. Lost on the films. The films replace one of the epidemiologists with a guy who's psychic. And I think it might still be two men, but one of them's like a little bit psychic. And that's how they get some good imagery out of it. I sort of accept it because some of the weird imagery and scenes you bring out of that is interesting. And I think perhaps the way it transfers to at least just ends up being the wife of one of the two men. Perhaps. I don't know. It has been quite a while. I did all this as a teenager. So even my recommendation that some of this stuff's good, I hit that with a pinch of salt. But I think the first book's good. Hell yeah. Little jerry can. Oh, a glob. Very nice. And this. What do you think we're in now? Like a submarine? Oh, excuse me. I don't think I've seen Mouth of Madness, should I? Okay. Mouth of Madness. Oh, well. Oh, I'll watch any Carpenter. I'll happily put a Carpenter on. Yeah, I'd like to watch a lot more 90s J-horror. I just watch so few films. There's like... I don't even say it's on the list. The list is so staggeringly long and contains so many impulses I've never followed up on. It's more that I need to be You know, when you get that kind of Bader-Meinhof effect of like someone says something to you and someone else says it. If I get like 2 or 3 coincidental recommendations of the same thing, that guarantees it. And we're off. Oh, we never made it to the tower, but this time we will, I think. Not J Horror, but ever seen Young Sheldon? No, should I? Would I enjoy it? How young is he? Oh yeah, I can be kidnapped and made to watch stuff. Do you know Mono, back in the day, used to host like a protracted movie watching session around his birthday, but it would all be like, it was all B-movie styled. And I got a real education from that. That's why I learnt to love buckets of blood. Is this the thing you accidentally tried to turn into an event? We didn't. It wasn't an accident. We ran a B-movie cinema for like a year. And in the end, it got shuttered because like we ran it as a program within a venue that already showed films and stuff and had a proper screen. Oh, this is controlling itself. Have you heard of I Bought a Vampire Motorcycle? It's set in Brum? No, but I'd love to watch anything set in Brum. I'm really looking forward to God Save Birmingham. I cannot believe after making such a fuss. Thank you for having us, Eclipsium. Thanks for letting us in on the secret. Thanks for having us round. You ever played Iron Lung? No, oh, I've heard of it. I'm aware of it. Is it a submarine thing? If it's what I'm thinking of. Has Neil Morrissey in it? Or maybe not then. Maybe I don't know it at all. Okay, since I've got you a while longer, I've done the demo. Let me first switch over to just chatting, because I guess we're done with that. I thought that was nice. I don't have an issue with it. It wasn't quite as stimulating as I would have hoped. It was pleasant. I like the art style. I think the gameplay just didn't stimulate me in quite the way I wanted. If it's puzzles, I'm quite happy to do a puzzle, but it was more just looking for the thing. It was just find the thing more than puzzles, and I found that a bit just didn't energize me, didn't enervate me. Let's just do something else. Do you know, I found this new Google Labs. It was no Lorb Valowin's castle. I've been recommended click holding recently. Yes, that's by Strange Scaffold Studio, right? Zalavia Nelson Jr. I'm sure that's a very good time. Anything they make's normally very interesting and worthwhile. But I never stream them because I think they're such full experiences in themselves. They're already comedy games that I would feel like I add nothing. Google Labs has created an alphabet generator. I'm very skeptical of it. What would you like to see turned into an alphabet? I've only tried it very briefly. The guidance I can give is there's no point picking anything too involved as a shape. You can't do like Matt LeBlanc. Maybe you can. Can you do Matt LeBlanc? Can you do Matt LeBlanc as a font? Oh, Bread? Oh, I mean, bread will be easy. I think bread is a malleable shape. I'm not sure whether or not it counted the hashtag. I pressed the hashtag and then straight into the enter there. Some sort of prism. Well, prism seems doable. The first one I tried was ants, and it could do that quite handily. There you go. So we got our bread. Bread. Bread.
Bread.
There's our bread alphabet. It takes a little while. It's bread. Unfortunate that disclaimer: AI outputs may sometimes be offensive or inaccurate. What kind of offensive alphabet could you put out? Yes, the G is partially toast. Why not? O is obviously a bagel. Fair enough. I think that's very reasonable. Q is a bagel with a little tostino
Bread.
roll on the side. T being 2 baguettes, that makes sense. Full English, that's quite a fun one to think about. V is an interesting decision. That's not the way I would have gone on it. You've got a lot of easier choices. Then we got Y and Z. Okay. Full
Bread.
English breakfast. I think you could do an alphabet from a full English breakfast. The V's fucked. No, I thought it was clever. I just wish there'd been a bit more negative space used. Try something different. Fry up breakfast, I'll call it.
Bread.
Surely. Maybe a fry up's, maybe, I don't know, it's too involved as a set of shapes. Yeah, I mean, they've had other things that were just strips of bread. I don't know why. Oh, there we go. I don't like it when they're just on a chopping board. The F, this F here, I quite like. Oh, I can't scroll, but there's a good F. Yeah, I don't like what they've done with the H or the I. I want them to be more like this J. The J is good. The L is ludicrous. Can I just make, if I click on one, will I lose anything? Oh, that's good. But why is it on a golf course? Why are we on one of those Scottish golf courses? Yeah, I just think that's lazy. I just think that could be better. I'm sorry, that probably came in too fast. Let's Z is fine. Z is fine. I'm not angry. This W though, this W should be the gold standard. It's kept a lot of the organic shapes of the components, and it's just arranged them into a W, and seen from a distance, I think you read it fine as a W. I think we could do better than dogs. I think we could do better. Dust bin contents. Should we do garbage? Would that not be, wouldn't that be passed more easily by this tool? And garbage should be doable. We've learnt from Art Attack that garbage is malleable. I've just done ketchup on the ground
Bread.
outside of Buckingham Palace. Oh, this is beautiful. Look at this bee. Oh, it looks terrible up close. Yeah, this has the horrible AI thing of zooming. This is good. That is good. It's in Discord. All right. This is Albrock with letters made of ketchup on the ground outside of Buckingham Palace. Oh, the G in particular, you really... And the Q as well, that worked. And the U. Oh, man. Oh, the F is kind of janky. Let's see if I can zoom in more. Unfortunately, Fs are always a bit obscured because of where they live. But yeah, you got some very horrible AI legs there. I love that they seem to have matched it to the actual type of ground they have outside of Buckingham Palace. But of course, it's going to be one of the more photographed places in the world. So why not have access to high fidelity? Yeah, that was really good. All right, let's go for more specific then. If you can get ketchup on the floor outside of Buckingham Palace to work as a font, then I think we could test this a little more. Mice, nations of the world. Nations of the world. That's the kind of reaching for the stars I want to see. Mice, I'm convinced mice will happen. Oh, fine. Oh, God. It's one of those that's incredibly ugly up close. Really doesn't land the close-up. Stonehenge in a car park. That's a good one. Stonehenge in a car park feels like a sequel to Ketchup on the Ground outside of Buckingham Palace. Stonehenge in a car park. Please wait for the current generation to finish. Do you know what? No, I don't want to. No, I will. I'll be polite. This is it's so smushy. It's so plasticine-y. Oh, when it's actually painted like that, impressionistically, it's a bit more pretty. It's these horrible plasticine creations that seem a bit more objectionable. And then finally, Zed. I kind of like the brushstroke style, but let's try Stonehenge in a car park. Yeah, Mike, you just let me know if it goes in Discord and I'll show everyone. Not quite in a car park. That's more people that have parked near to the Stonehenge. That's quite good. So this is the H. This is the font Stonehenge in a car park. There's K by some cars. Put another one in. I'm delighted by this new one. All right. This is... this font is letters made of crowds of enthusiastically angry people outside of the US Capitol building. The fact it just contains people morphed like liquid into shapes. This D in particular. Oh yeah, Albert, you know you can also then ask it to spell out a word specifically using these fonts. So you could if you really wanted to. Oh, I love these people in the foreground. This guy. This is the same guy. Grugger Smith has got, yeah, I think we want ones that are nice and long and descriptive. So we'll have that old-timey photo of the boys balancing on a beam while constructing the Empire State Building. What would that look like as a font? It's processing. Sometimes it rejects them outright. No, here we go. Here we go. It's having a good go. There we go. There's D. There's E. I think actually it's just taken some of the real images and just chopped them into letters. But you know what? Even having done that, it's made them sort of interesting. Was there a link to this generator? It's just called GenType. Labs.google GenType. The R's quite good, except if you zoom in, a lot of these. Here's one from Mighty. This is an alphabet made of an awkward divorce. Wow, they're all over the place. Yes, that's really good. The A, I'm particularly fond of the A. Oh, and it's awful. Like the W, what's happening here? The O in particular is the K. The S I don't mind. I sort of understand the S. All right, what should we try next? Okay, yeah, let's do something abstract like a divorce. A child scared of an alien? Like if it can incorporate the child and the alien into each letter, I'd be impressed. Yeah, fair enough. Yes, each one is a child scared of an alien. F, the child is scared of an alien. G, the child is scared of an alien. H, the child is scared of an alien. I, the child is scared of an alien. The child is scared of an alien. Just in different art styles, the child is scared of an alien. This child is scared of an alien. Slightly leaning towards photorealism. Hello, Red Tick Seed. We're looking at Google Labs' new Gen type, which allows you to make a font out of a prompt. And this one is a child scared of an alien. So here's T, here's S, although I don't know what's behind the S here. Is that supposed to be the child? Here's V. That one's great. X is the absolute best one. Then there's Z, his face. These are incredible. Oh, we got another one. This one's from Josie Hypatia. This is worms coming out of a scientist's nose. Yes, okay, so they're barely... This is probably the least function as a font. Like C, I don't see a C here. I don't think this is a font. Have you tried writing anything with this? A lot of them are just the same thing. Apart from R. I guess R is something. R is very visible as a letter. Should we just do Hugh Laurie? I think now that it's warmed up, it thinks it can do anything. Try something different. All right, that's fair. Is there a book all about the Comic Sans font? What about God? God. It's probably going to reject this. Surely it'll reject this. Surely. Or it'll just fail. Oh, fine. It's going to find the imagery that's associated with Bibles, worship, cathedrals. Fine. Not too interesting. Will it gen celebs? Well, it didn't do Hugh Laurie, but I mean, we could try someone else. Yeah, so I could use my child scared of an alien. I could say, I'm scared of this alien. And you can sort of just about read it, I think. I'm scared of this alien. Bread. Hugh Laurie scared by an alien? Yeah, why not? Hugh Laurie scared by an alien. I think it's going to come back with a firm no on that one. But we should probably switch out Hugh Laurie. I think he might be... Who's even more famous than Hugh Laurie? I mean, one of the most famous and photographed people at the moment. Taylor Swift scared by an alien. Although her team might have specifically asked. So who's maybe not as litigious? Tom Hanks scared by an alien? David Schwimmer? No, I don't think you can get celebrities in here. I think maybe they've got a block on it. Here's some highlights from Mighty Fighty Shushbug's Pig Boyfriend. And by highlights, I obviously mean disturbing images. So here's the U. Here's the M with a pretzel at the bottom. And then here's the D. This D is incredible. Don't put that in the mall phrase. You know what I mean. This is just a wonderful image. Oh, should we try Prime Minister? Prime Minister scared by it. Prime Minister... And what's the Prime Minister doing? What situation is the Prime Minister in? Eating an ice cream.
Bread.
No, we could do better than that. Prime Minister. Yeah, Prime Minister being hit by a pie. Struck, let's say struck by pie to face. Prime Minister with Prime Minister with shaving cream pie. Where's the Prime Minister? Fair enough. I gave it something to zoom in on that you could make letters out of, and it's prioritised that. I understand it. I don't condone it.
Guy with no worries.
I do understand it. Should we just do screaming? I think someone said screaming earlier, and maybe that would be... Let's do impressionistic screaming. What have you got for me? Yes. Yes. A bit too impressionistic, a bit less screaming, but this is good. The sea is very good. Okay, what have we got? Reception music has created this. I don't know what the prompt is, but we just have this letter L. Is this next one from Spiffing? Letters made of angry wheelchairs chasing city workers around the London Underground. Yes, surprisingly cogent. Yeah, I'd say this one has worked out. The T in particular is very evocative. Coming up next, Albrot has made one. A married couple having an argument over something and the husband's desire to go to a clothing optional beach. Yes, sure. Yes, fine. This is from the British Prime Minister having a cheeky party when he wasn't really supposed to. This is the Q from that font. Yes, extremely cheeky. This looks like a Hieronymus Bosch. Oh, Hieronymus Bosch. Hieronymus Bosch. Now that would make a good font, I think. I'll try something different. Yeah, Saturn eating his son. Because you could get that the way he's stretching his son's flesh out. Like a pizza cheese string extruding from his mouth. You could turn that into any letter you want, really. Oh, it's devouring, isn't it? The word's devouring in the title. Devouring? Can't do that either. Saturn having a nibble on a boy. Come on. Yes, fine. I see where you're coming from. Yeah, that's it. Goya painting. Surely, like a lot of these things like to advertise themselves as they can't do Goya, just Goya. Allowed? Not allowed? Wouldn't let me post their name. Oh, we got more in the Discord. Oh. It won't do named artists. Dark toned Spanish artist. So you couldn't do like René Magritte. René Magritte would lend itself to this. A bit too much. I don't think it would like satanic. Abstract pencil sketches of satanic worship. Escher. Hello, Pepsi Squirrels. We're just using Google's GenType to create some new... Oh, these are good fonts. Create some new fonts. That's A. That's B. This is abstract pencil sketches of satanic worship. That's C. That's D. That's E. It's done a pretty good job. What was the prompt for these, Mighty? Mighty's just sent in some really cursed ones. I think the prompt is just teeth, maybe? Or dental surgery. It's very unpleasant. Anyone doesn't like seeing this? I can only recommend you don't look at it. So what have we got? We've got R, Q, P, G, another G, and then an O. Wonderful. Dreadful as well. I don't want to let go of this D because something about this very tall pig. And also the fact that there's sort of like two loops coming around. And the fact it's got little shoes on. Something very compelling, especially about this nondescript blank face. I know someone who'd hate that. I think your average person would hate it. At-home dentistry, was that the prompts? Here's one from Grugger, which was the prompt was the wince your face makes when tasting something unbearably sour. If you can't tell, that's an A because there's the shadow of an A overlaid over this face. And then from reception music, we have this. Letters made of skateboarders using an elderly person as a board grinding down the stairs. Then we have this word, which is Blanu. Why have you written Blanu? Blanu Nan. Oh, blonde Nan. Yes, blonde Nan. So is the prompt for this Nan turned blonde by the COVID-19 vaccine? I keep getting it to break the terms of service, then it realizes halfway through that it's being naughty and deletes it all. Yeah. All right, we'll do like a couple more, and then I think I've done my term. Stream over. Just want to go. I don't think being turned blonde is a sufficient reason for people not to take the vaccine. I think, sorry, if you having different hair color is one of the prices we pay for a vaccinated community, then that's a price we pay. Sorry, I'm very pro-vax. I'll get vaccinated for anything, for any reason. If I see something that looks a bit dirty or like it might hurt me or infect me, I just have a little bit of it. I homeopathize it. I just dilute it extremely in a lot of pure spring water from Buxton. You've dropped one in. Here's one from Burnzoid. Letters made of post-industrial UK northern hellscape. A, B, C, D, E, F, G. This is quite nice. Oh, I like the P in particular. The Q is also very good. This actually I legitimately like. But I love just old broken down old buildings. Can we do 1984? What would a 1984
Bread.
font look like? Because I think there's a lot of 1984 imagery. Try something different. 2001. I think I'll get a mixture of 9/11 and a Space Odyssey. Hopefully not blended into a single image. Oh, what? Okay, I guess that's just too generic. Surely Tony Blair. Surely we could get Tony Blair to be a font. Try something different. The UK Labour Party? Try something different. A funeral for a giant ladybird. I'm trying to go down more the Albrot specific but possible route. This isn't a funeral. It's not a funeral. Try again. Sentient gravestone. Thank you also for the stream and friendship, Mighty. I hope you have a good meeting. Hello, Das Keto. I'm just trying to generate a font from the prompt sentient gravestone using Google's new Gen type tool. There's A, there's B. Not a lot of sign that these are sentient, though. Let's try something different. Let's try flesh television. Maybe flesh will be one of its banned words. Here we go, flesh television. There's our A. That's not a television, but it is flesh. There's our D. I accept that. That's a perfect flesh television. G has sort of incorporated, well, I wanted to say screens, but they are obviously eyeballs. So I don't really accept that. This looks more like baked beans. This has gone off. This has gone off piste a bit. Wow, we've already sort of seen what baked beans will look like. Here is, you want to see a vision of our future? Look at this baked bean M. It's struggling with some of them. And O, it's really stuck with the beans. Here is what if you cut open some Angel Delight and it was flesh underneath. Quite far away from the television I requested. Yeah, and it's just gone full baked beans. It stuck an antenna in this, just to placate me. There's a T in front of a television. That's on the television, but they've put eyes in the flesh again. Tumor S. Yeah, it's definitely not baked beans this time. And then finally, the Z is good. The Z honestly might be the best one for Fleshavision. What if you put TV instead of television? Oh, I can't be bothered. Let's do something else. A whale falling on a businessman. I think it can do that. It's generic, but specific. Sort of. Whale and businessman are there, but we haven't got the crucial element of the whale falling on the businessman. In this instance, an eye has fallen onto a whale and the businessman is pushing the eye down. Yeah, it's not quite hitting the brief here, is it? Oh, we have a bunch from different people. This is from Jose Hypatia. Pus from Zits popped onto a mirror. This is actually gross, and we're gonna move on. This is Penguin doing a jigsaw in the sky. Yeah, that's good. What's that supposed to be? An E, like an incomplete E. Oh, it's a B. It's a B because of the shapes of their backs is supposed to complete it. That one's quite ambitious. This one, the prompt was a bear riding a BMX bike being rad. Sometimes it almost hits just right. This is good. This is letters of owls and fax machines. That's beautiful. Bread. That is a wonderful combination. Letters of owls and fax machines. Another one from Josie Hypatia. As I awoke one morning from uneasy dreams, I found myself transformed in my bed into a gigantic insect. Yes, I think it's ignored a lot of it, although the J clearly contains bed. The K is made entirely of pillows. But a lot of it is just insect. Although W and X seem to be nuts, so I don't know what's happening there. A lot of imagery. The I in particular is very good. The B of just different insects crowded together. This sort of semi-larval wasp creature to make the arching back of the G. That is exciting to me. And then this is letters made of entering a wizard's home. Yeah, it's pretty good. There's a lot of fantasy stuff. A lot of the AI stuff seems to be so geared towards conjuring fantasy. I don't know if the intended use case is like people just making helpful reference images for like Dungeons and Dragons. British Core Nightmare. There has been a rebrand with which I was unfamiliar. Oh, regarding what? Can someone do a reverse mermaid in the office for me? Yeah, I'll give that a go. Reverse mermaid working in an office. And then we can try British Core Nightmare, but then I'm going to clock off. You have access to the site, so have at it, and I will check what people have made in the Discord. The thing is that the stuff it comes out with is so unnecessarily detailed. Oh, that's quite good. Oh no, it's not reverse, is it? I don't think it understands reverse mermaid. I think what we should try is fish-headed office woman. I think that might help. This is Alrot with photos of panicked people running away from autonomous vehicles. There's one there. This autonomous vehicle seems to be in a river. That's really good. Okay, so that's fish-headed office woman. I wonder how it handles hyphenated phrases. Oh, there we go. Look, now we're having a nice time. That A is very good. I mean, she's not fish-headed. She's partially translucid when it comes to the head. But this person is fish-headed, and they're dressed for the office. Fish-headed woman. Oh, fish-headed woman at the office. That's very good. Yep, we're getting there. This K fits the brief. Well, I mean, it's not really a reverse mermaid. It's just there is an entire fish where her head should be, but I'm accepting it. Yeah, there she is. Yeah, there she is. Oh, the entire body of the S is her head, I think. Not sure what's going on here. Fish-headed woman standing grumpily in front of a W. Oh, very nice. Now that's a Z. That's a Z and a half. Okay, lastly, I'm going to do British Core Nightmare. And then I'm going to say goodbye. I thought there was a Marilyn Monroe vibe to that. Yeah, I couldn't tell if that was intentional. But also, I didn't want to come across like I'm someone who sees a woman and then be like, is that Marilyn Monroe? British Core Nightmare, that's great. I'm getting Iron Maiden from this. Less so from this. From this, I'm getting I'm 7 years old and Princess Diana has just died. Yep, fair enough. Just Nightmare here. No Britain. Or a bit of both. British called Nightmare K. Fish-headed woman. Scared by alien in British called Nightmare. That's British called Nightmare. That's not anything. I mean, it's Nightmare. That's British called Nightmare. British called Nightmare. Back to the painting. Oh, has the site become unhappy? Have I generated too many things? Take me back. Hello? Okay. And with that, and with me being unable to get off of this zoom in of this painted S, I think we've overloaded it. I think they're going to have to take it back to the cleaners. Mansplaining to a cosplay, that's very good. Well, I'm glad that British Core broke it. Just before I go, I just have one quick question to ask all of you. What's this? What's that?
I see Santa
Bread.
toilet.
It's bus toilet.
Isael Brot.
I see that's a niche kink.
What?
I'm looking at the shittiest Santa I've ever seen.
Huh?
It's big horse with a normal-sized man.
What?
It's poop box.
It's her.
Huh?
It's Pikachu.
Pikachu?
I can see Liz Trussy.
Lizzie Trussy?
It's the bad place.
What?
I see Santa but
Goodbye, everyone.
It's Santa de Caca.
No. My friend. And by highlights, I obviously mean disturbing images. So here's the U. Here's the M with a pretzel at the bottom. And then here's the D. This D is incredible. Don't put that in the mall phrase. You know what I mean. This is just a wonderful image.